What if the walls around you could do more than just shelter you from the world outside? Imagine if your home could truly transform your life, support your healing, accelerate your personal growth, and become the launchpad for starting over. What if the secret to a fresh start isn't a perfect location or a trendy layout, but the power hidden in a life-changing home for healing, personal growth, and starting over? Today, we're about to unlock that secret together. If you're ready to explore how your living space can spark incredible change, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a new episode from the Growth Mindset Project. Let's go back to the beginning. Most people view home in terms of market value or curb appeal, white picket fences, perfect lawns, flawless backdrops for social media. But across the years, we've discovered an entirely different reality. There are homes out there, sometimes wildly unconventional, sometimes as simple as a tiny cabin, that have revolutionized their owners' lives. Not because of their price tag, but because of the way they nurture healing, foster personal growth, and make new beginnings possible. These are the life-changing homes for healing, personal growth, and starting over. Our journey started out of pure curiosity. There were no big plans, no themes, just a camera, a website, and a desire to document stories. Over time, a pattern emerged. Home is so much more than a space, an address, or a pile of bricks. Again and again, we saw that when a person and a place align, when a home truly fits the owner, a transformation happens. Sometimes subtle, sometimes dramatic, always real. It's true for Charles, who's lived off-grid deep in the redwoods for decades. At first glance, his story looked like a survival tale, but as we stepped onto his land, after 45 minutes of bumping along dirt roads, it became clear he'd shaped a home for healing and deep reconnection. Here, he knows every tree, every glade. He's watched the forest he loves regenerate itself, and in the process, he's healed parts of himself that only nature could reach. Or the young priest in the Alps, who emailed us after seeing one of our stories. A little over 5 years ago, he wrote, I bought a rundown rustico in the Val d'Orno. There's no true road to his home, only winding switchbacks up the mountain. Life there is hard. Everything, kitchen appliances, lumber, must be hauled in by hand or by bicycle. But he became a hermit not to escape the world, but to find perspective and healing after years of spiritual burnout. With a panoramic view over the valleys, every day becomes a meditation on both the vastness outside his window and the expansiveness of his spirit. For him, home is an ally in the quest for growth. If you're enjoying this journey into the power of healing homes, take a moment now and tap that like button. Let us know in the comments what kind of home would help you heal or start over, because your story is just as important as the ones we share. Another builder of life-changing homes is John, who painstakingly rebuilt a log cabin in Minnesota, log by log, board by board. It wasn't the 19th century anymore, but John felt a yearning for deep time, the slowness, the connection to natural rhythms, the satisfaction of work done with his own hands. Walking around back, I teased him about the outdoor privy. It can't be fun on icy winter nights. But he just winked. It's good for the soul. Maybe we've convinced our real life away and lost the best of it. For him, home is equal parts challenge and refuge, a place to face discomfort and, in doing so, to grow stronger and more resilient. There is Aaron, the modern-day nomadic shepherd, who took to the road with his sheep. He lives and sleeps in a tiny mobile wagon, pulled from pasture to pasture, neighborhood to neighborhood. This is my bed, he told us with a smile. It's just enough. His life is radical, yes, but he believes his way of living could offer hope to those on the margins, those who might otherwise be homeless. His journey reminds us, sometimes a life-changing home is forged not from permanence, but from movement, from embracing uncertainty and allowing it to heal you. Contrast that with a renowned architect. We filmed him where he feels most at peace, a humble, one-room shed studio out back. He's designed soaring federal buildings and iconic towers, but nothing compares, he said, to the sense of belonging in his self-built space. With his daughter's help, every detail was crafted for comfort and creativity. For him, healing and growth come not from grand statements, but from authentic creation, matched precisely to your own needs. Then there's the spectacular, one-of-a-kind story of the Forestier underground gardens in California. Imagine an Italian immigrant intent on growing an orchard but stymied by rock-hard soil. Undeterred, he went underground, digging, tunneling, sculpting by hand, until he'd created an entire subterranean world. Light filters down through skylights, plants thrive despite the desert above, and rooms unfold in all directions. A cool, fresh start under the freeway. Who would have thought a home carved from hardship could become a model for resilience, hope, and remaking your destiny? As we traveled and filmed, a common thread stitched itself through every story, every unusual dwelling. Deliberate living, Thoreau wrote about it long before van life made it cool. The best healing homes are created when people intentionally ask themselves, how do I want to live? What space truly nurtures me? Where do I feel I can start over? That shift, from a passive to an active role in designing your environment, can be the spark for personal transformation. Of course, not every home is radical, remote, off-grid, or built by hand. Some of the most powerful homes for healing arise from loving attention to the everyday. One couple in Santa Cruz built their own innermost house, tiny, unelectrified, lit by candles. Just a cabin, really, but enough to cause them to re-examine their habits, to slow down, and to see time and life differently. Sometimes healing happens simply through subtraction, removing distractions until clarity and growth appear. Quick reminder, if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe and join a community exploring not just homes, but the deeper ways they help us grow. Your engagement brings more real stories to life right here. You don't need a fortune or fame to access a life-changing home for healing, personal growth, and starting over. We've met people who revived entire village buildings with their retirement funds, not to flip for profit, but to create intentional communities where plants could flourish and people could learn from one another. In Spain, hikers stumbled onto a ghost town and together brought it back to life. In Sweden, families can stay overnight in former coal huts, reminding themselves that comfort is relative and that sometimes the simplest places offer the deepest rest. We've even seen the role of time change through these stories. In modern society, we're dominated by mechanical time, alarms, deadlines, schedules pinging away on our phones. But in some communities, the home expands across the seasons. Livestock is moved up and down the mountains. Buildings are lived in only at certain times, and slowness becomes not just a luxury, but a teacher. Healing happens when we sync ourselves to those ancient cyclical rhythms, a rhythm of seasons, not seconds. There are endless forms a transformative home can take: round birdcage houses, jungle solaria, creekside cabins, hand-dug caves, rolling tiny homes, camper vans that invite you to move with the sunrise. It doesn't matter if others find your home strange or quirky. When you craft a space that aligns with your needs, your dreams, your season of life, when your home becomes your collaborator, that is when the real magic happens. And sometimes, the greatest power of a healing home is not in the structure, but in the challenge it presents. A little discomfort, a little inconvenience can wake us up, spark gratitude, and invite us to grow. Sometimes we find, as John did trudging to his outhouse in the snow, that being bitten by mosquitoes or freezing in the winter is good for the soul. That's the secret, isn't it? Life-changing homes for healing, personal growth, and starting over don't follow a blueprint. They respond to the deep needs of those who live within them. They urge us to reflect, to confront impermanence, to embrace community or solitude as needed, to experiment, and always, always, to stay true to ourselves. So if you've ever wanted to truly unlock a fresh start, maybe now is the time to ask yourself, what kind of home could change my life? What space would let you heal, grow, and reinvent yourself from the ground up? Curious to see more incredible stories of homes that transform lives? Watch our next videos right here, and don't forget, Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a moment of the Growth Mindset Project, where we turn houses into launch pads for healing and personal growth.